When disaster strikes, whether it's a hurricane, earthquake, flood, or fire, it feels like the world is crashing down around you. In those moments, everything you've ever known, everything you've worked for, can disappear in an instant. It's as if the very ground beneath your feet betrays you, leaving you vulnerable and powerless. But let me tell you something. You're not powerless, not even close. The first thing you need to understand is that disaster doesn't define you. No matter how overwhelming the destruction may seem, it doesn't have the power to break your spirit unless you allow it to. When Gotham was at its darkest, when chaos reigned, and it seemed like hope was lost, I learned something crucial. It's not the buildings, the infrastructure, or the material possessions that bring a city or a person back from the edge. It's the people. It's the strength inside you. It's your will to survive, your determination to stand up and rebuild. That's what's truly powerful. And that's what will carry you through the storm. The human mind is complex. When you face disaster, it's natural to feel overwhelmed. Fear, panic, confusion. They're all part of the initial shock. But the key is not to let those emotions consume you. You have to confront the fear, acknowledge the loss, but you can't let it dictate your future. Instead, use it. Use that fear as fuel. It's proof that you're alive, proof that you're still here, still capable of moving forward. And that's your greatest asset. As long as you're breathing, you have a chance to rebuild. Mentally, the path to recovery isn't a straight line. You're going to face obstacles, setbacks, moments of doubt. That's inevitable. I've had to push through more than my fair share of those moments. I've watched Gotham burn, I've seen good people fall, and I felt the weight of the city's destruction press down on my shoulders. But every time, I've learned that the most important thing is not how many times you fall. It's how many times you get back up. No matter how much it hurts, no matter how hopeless it seems, you stand up again, and again, and again. That's how you win. You have to remember that recovery takes time. It's not going to happen overnight. There's no shortcut to healing, no quick fix for the scars, physical or emotional, that a disaster leaves behind. But that's okay. You don't need to rush it. What you need is resilience, the ability to keep going even when it feels like you're standing still. There's no shame in taking small steps. Every step forward, no matter how small, is progress. You rebuild brick by brick, step by step. You focus on what you can control and you take action, no matter how insignificant it might seem in the grand scheme of things. Over time, those small actions will add up. They'll create momentum, and soon you'll look back and realize just how far you've come. When disaster hits, it's easy to get lost in the enormity of the situation. You might feel isolated, like you're facing the challenge alone. But the truth is, you're never alone. Just like I have allies who help me fight for Gotham, you have people around you, friends, family, even strangers, who are going through the same battle. Lean on them. Share your struggles. There's strength in numbers, and there's power in community. By supporting each other, you create something unbreakable, something that even the worst disaster can't destroy. And let's talk about loss. It's inevitable after a disaster, and it can leave a hole in your heart, a sense of emptiness that's hard to fill. You might lose your home, your belongings, even people you care about. And that kind of loss can feel unbearable. But you have to allow yourself to grieve. Don't bottle it up or pretend it doesn't affect you. Feel the pain, process it, and then find a way to carry on. The scars will remain, but they don't have to weaken you. In fact, they can make you stronger. Every scar tells a story of survival, of resilience, of a battle fought and won. Wear those scars with pride because they're proof that you've overcome something that was meant to break you. You're stronger than you realize. I see it every day in the people of Gotham, in the ones who keep going even when the odds are against them. And I know that same strength exists in you. It's in all of us. It's in the way we refuse to give up, even when everything seems hopeless. It's in the way we fight for a better tomorrow, even when today is falling apart. You have the power to shape your own destiny, to rise from the ashes of whatever disaster has struck. But it starts in your mind. It starts with the belief that you can and will overcome this. It's not about ignoring the pain or pretending everything is fine. It's about facing the reality of the situation, accepting it, and then making the decision to rise above it. You have to tell yourself, this is not the end. I'm not finished yet. I'm going to rebuild. I'm going to come back stronger. There's an old saying that the night is darkest just before the dawn. And it's true. When you're in the middle of a crisis, it can feel like the darkness will never end. But it will. Dawn always comes. Light always returns. And when it does, you'll see that you've grown stronger in the darkness. You'll see that you've become someone who can face anything. Someone who can survive the storm and come out the other side. Remember this. You are not defined by what happens to you. You're defined by how you respond to it. And right now, you have a choice. You can let this disaster break you, or you can let it forge you into something stronger, something unbreakable. You have the strength inside you to rise, to rebuild, to overcome. You are the hero of your own story. And no matter how dark it gets, never forget, you have what it takes to find the light again.